Good morning, this time from Tel Aviv. That is the city that I was born, and as according to my wife, I will die. And she doesn't want to move to my favorite city in the world, Jerusalem. And I think you will understand her today because of that video. Then let's start with that. It's Shabbat, Saturday. Jerusalem, everything is closed. Everything's totally kosher. We move out of the bicycle lane, and you can see that here a lot of the places are open. This is one of the coffee places. It's called Abima Coffee, next to Abima Theater. And look how beautiful other people enjoying excellent coffee, excellent sandwiches. Totally not kosher. You can enjoy pork here, and this is the life in Tel Aviv. It's still wartime. Everything can happen in less than 1 minute, but as you can understand, the people of Israel decided to live and not only to survive. Now, some of you might write me a message and say, the people are naked here. Second thing, they will say, oh, you are doing a political video. Well, it's a video of my life in Tel Aviv, and my channel is not about Christianity, it's not about Judaism, it's not about Islam, it's about life in Israel. And part of it, it's politics. Then the story is about the boulevard of Tel Aviv, one of the most important boulevards. I believe that it might be a little bit crowded, not so, but it might be. But it will be involved politics, because that is my life in Tel Aviv today. By the way, we are at the tsunami. Assembly is on. Another thing that you can see here is a bus, public bus, and this is the problem. We will talk about it soon. I live not so far away from the cross that if we will have a tsunami alarm, I will sit here and enjoy one of the best coffees. The buses that you saw, and you will see the bus that you saw, and you will see a lot of buses, are another great system of, it started in Tel Aviv, but now it's all over the cities of around Tel Aviv, the satellite cities. According to the Israeli law, we cannot have buses, public transportation on Shabbat, Saturday. See another one here, another one is behind me. Then the city mayor actually was, and he could not pay for it. Then the city mayor was very, very, very smart. Those buses are for free. You don't need to pay. The drivers are not Jewish. Then in that case, you can have buses like that to all over the satellite cities of it, and in that case, less drunk people will use their cars, and a lot of people from the cities around Tel Aviv will be able to enjoy a nice meal, a nice, you know what, let's go look for here, a nice meal, a nice seashore area without any penny. As you can see, a lot of children, and 2 lanes here. One is for bicycle, another one is for us, and we're gonna use it. That's something really happening here for the last 2 days. But this is the Acropolis of Tel Aviv. Remember, we actually climbed up. Gosh, it's hot. It's 90 degrees and humidity. I'm sweating as hell. This is the National Theater, the Philharmonic Hall, Kadishman, one of the most beautiful outdoor statues and kind of a plaza which no one can use it now because there's no shade. The other side is Acropolis. The other side of the Acropolis is the Rothschild Boulevard, one of the first streets of Tel Aviv, and Tel Aviv was established in 1908. Before I continue, remember the naked women or men. This is Tel Aviv, and accept it. In Tel Aviv you can do whatever you want. In Tel Aviv you can actually live as much as you like in your way of living, and walking with a swimming suit, especially when she's going to the sea, is more than okay. What actually we can see here is a tent area of people who said we have more than 100 people who are still almost a year in captive in Gaza. A lot of them were citizens. They were hijacked, kidnapped at October 7. And if they are not at home, we cannot be at home. Then they build themselves here a tent city. And it's only the beginning. Then you can see here, I have a brother who been kidnapped in Gaza. You could save them, but you failed. And here you can see pictures of the people who are still in captive, still in Gaza. We are going to, in about a month, we're going to celebrate, if you can say celebrate, 1 year after the terror attack of Hamas. And no one that actually can watch that video can send me a message that they feel so sorry for Gaza. And I will do that. I will say it only now. One politic sentence. If the Gazan people wants to stop it, they must stop Hamas and release the hostage. If not, I don't want to say no mercy, but I don't care about what's happening now in Gaza. A baby is kidnapped. A son is kidnapped. A husband, a friend. Then you can understand, and I think I didn't try to hide it, what actually the people of Israel think. It's not left, right parties. Everyone believes that we need to stop Hamas and release the hostages. Bring them now. That is the t-shirt. And this is for you and for me an historical event. Around 10 years ago, we had here a huge tent city, and but that's for a different kind of protest. It shows you that Rothschild Avenue that we are walking through is more than just a boulevard. And I started from the end of it, mainly because I live here, not in Rothschild. I wish I could. I cannot afford myself to live here, but they're not so far away from here. And then I will take the free bus back to my house, straight to the cold shower. Then there's a lot of culture things here. For example, let me take you to a beautiful statue that I love, and I'm not sure that someone here knows that it's actually an outdoor statue. But before that, bring them home now. You will see it a lot. You will see the yellow flags all over Rothschild, because Rothschild Avenue it's a kind of a statement. Now, it actually looks like a house, but because Tel Aviv it's a new city, 1909, there's not a lot of history beneath Tel Aviv. Then what the sculptor wanted you to understand, that if you will excavate here, you will find the rest of the building. 4 rooms building. I think it's a genius thing, but if you will ask them, I'm not sure that they know about it. Yellow flag is a symbol of people who've been kidnapped. We brought few bodies, dead bodies, that been murdered by Hamas lately, and we actually found them. We found one of the hostages a few days ago. He is a Muslim guy, and Hamas doesn't care if he's a Muslim, Christian, Jew. What they want to do is to demolish Israel. And I can argue about that how old Israel is. Is that the Jewish land? It's not even statement. My dear Europeans, my dear Americans, if you are asking to free Palestine, I am with you. We have to free Palestine from the terror organizations. And I hope that nothing else will happen here. I know that when I said those words, maybe YouTube won't allow me to watch that video, but I'm taking my risk. All right, let's cross the junction. And what I didn't talk about are the Bauhaus houses that you can see here, and you can see even a school, a religious school that started as just a religious school, elementary school I think, or high school, and now it's a school for science and religion. Bring them home now. This is what the sign, the billboard said, and you can see the yellow color, and I think you can understand that now it's bring them home now. It's strange to see the people actually drinking coffee, eating, playing, walking, and still the war is in our mind. And I think now the person who actually made me mad said, I'm not here to watch your political statement. I don't need you. This is part of Israel. And this is part of my life. I need to survive, and you must understand it. Then this is a beautiful university. It's yeshiva, it's a biblical school, and now it's art and science, and still a biblical school. I'm not sure that you will find something like that in Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the yeshivas will be only about the Bible, nothing else. But I'm not sure. If you'll turn to the right, you will see one of my favorite Bauhaus houses. Then it actually takes us to the 30s. If I'll talk about Bauhaus, international style, move to the 30s. Then in that case, this is in a way the end of the story, because that way will take you to the beginning of Rothschild, and it looks totally different. In the 30s, people actually said, the architect actually said, let's build modern houses that will be functional for the people, not the other way around. Beautiful, marvelous houses that people won't be able to buy. Then, first of all, they started to use cement. Secondly, it's asymmetric. I mean, the idea of symmetric houses are not important anymore. It's not. It's a typical Bauhaus house, but I will take you to a better one. But look how beautiful it is when you are renovating it. And Rothschild, if you already know that Rothschild Avenue is quite an important area, then you can understand. Let me just cross it. that here you must preserve the houses in a strict way. You cannot even change 1 inch of it. And that started, I think, in the 60s, not earlier than that. Then, for example, you can see ugly houses like that. We're talking about outside. So that is, look how beautiful is that. It's called Aviv, which is spring, which is part of the word Tel Aviv. But for me, it looks like sitting here in the boulevard and drinking coffee, 2 cups of coffee. Aviv. Spring. And this is important because one of the questions people ask me is why we call Tel Aviv Tel Aviv. Then let's talk about it while we will watch the ecological pool. And we have a lot of it. Think about it, to have kind of pools like that in a place which is almost a desert, this is beautiful. All right. The Zionist, this is the first Zionist city, and I'm proud of the Zionists. I know that some Muslims actually try to convince you that Zionism is a horrible movement. Then in that case, I'm a horrible person. And when we wanted to build the city, we wanted to name it by the person who actually invented that new modern statement, who say that every Jew must go back to their houses, and I'm talking about Israel. And he wrote a book about the old and the new in German. The Ottomans didn't allow us to call that city by that name because Herzl, the one who invented the new movement, wanted a country for the Jews. He said, we had a country here for hundreds and thousands of years. We must go back. We must leave the diaspora, Europe and America, and we must go to our own land. The Jews are suffering there, which is until today true. Then in that case, we decided to call the city by the name of this book. And the name of this book was The Old and the New. And let's face it, The Old and the New doesn't sound like a beautiful name for a city, especially when we are going to eat something, and let's eat in the old and the new city. Then instead of the word old, we use the word tel, which are layers of cities, city on top of a city on top of a city on top of a city. Jerusalem, it's a tel. Armageddon, it's a tel, and so many other places. Jaffa, it's a tel. Then old Aviv, it's spring, which is new. And in that case, Tel Aviv. Now we know the meaning of the word Tel Aviv, but you know the meaning of the, two words in Hebrew. You can see that those are two religious people. They are 100% not from Israel. I believe that they are from France. One are from Israel because they're not dressed like Israelis. This is more like an Israeli dress, knowing that horrible 90 degrees with 70 degrees of humidity, then better. The yellow flags, you know exactly what it is. But where are the shops? When they built that boulevard, they decided not to have shops here. If you watch other if you saw other shops, other videos of mine, you could see a lot of shops here. But in that boulevard, there are no shops because when they built Tel Aviv, all right, let me stop here to show you something else from the other side. That billboard said, "Stop the anti-Semitic of Tel Aviv. Let's build a Jewish state now." You can see that you can actually say everything about it. Tel Aviv is so against the idea of religious state of Israel. They wanted to have a Jewish state of country, and a Jew, I mean, no one said that the Jew must be a religious one. AM PM, it's a grocery shop that opens 7 days a week. Remember, in Jerusalem, it's so rare to find something like that. And even McDonald's sign in front of you. And this is Shenkin Street, which used to be a very chic-y street, but it's not. I must say that it's quite a nice place to visit it. I was so against it until I think a month ago. Oh no, half a year ago. But then I traveled there again and I saw that they built a beautiful, beautiful street with so many coffee places, a lot of boutique shops. What you can see here is not a Bauhaus house. It's trying to be a Bauhaus house, but it's more like a eclectic house. But what I love to see here is how they renovated it. The original 2 stories, and then they built another 2 stories, and that's how they renovated the building. And that sign here say, all right, you can understand now. Instead of using the word now, you can see that only one vowel is enough to understand the meaning of what's happening here. Let's continue. Then Shenkin Street is a place to visit. It's not a must, but it's a place to visit. This is the part that I love in the city, because there's a lot of shade here, and it's such a beautiful beautiful place to visit. And you might say, no, they're not playing today. Oh, so sad. I wanted you to see something, but I think it's too hot for them to play, or maybe it's too early. Try to understand what those yards for, and we will talk about it soon. I love that they are arguing. Please let me continue with what I'm trying to tell you. Don't stop me now. Someone yesterday wrote me, go check your lungs. I think you do have a problem. Then, my dear, I did. I do have a severe asthma, and I'm trying to live with it. Let me cross to the other side and not to die. Rothschild Hotel is a beautiful hotel, totally not Bauhaus. Eclectic, a little bit from here, a little bit from there. It means that it might be before the 30s, because from the 30s it was mostly Bauhaus. Then we are leaving the Bauhaus area, although we didn't visit the most beautiful Bauhaus building that have been preserved lately. We severely preserved. They couldn't touch anything there. Look how beautiful it is. And what I wanted to see here is how they, when they built it, renovated it, they wanted to build a beautiful, not hotel, it was something else before. And let me show you how it looks like. Oops. Can you see the additional part? Couldn't see it before, and this is the beauty of that building today. It's an hotel with a lively restaurant, but for me the building is more important. Right. The answer is pétanque, the French play with metal balls. Is usually played here. I wanted you to see it, but what can I say? They're still at home. Soon you will see one of my favorite coffee, and you will see another coffee that no one actually stayed there, and the question is why. He sells books in 20 shekels. He or she. It looks like he. Then we saw the pétanque. Maybe on the way back I will see them playing. All right, let's start with that. It started in 1909, and they had a lottery. 60 families actually could enjoy land, and they had to build their houses in less than 1 year. But here, it was kind of a valley with a small stream in wintertime that they were afraid to build the houses here. Then they cover it with sand. Then, without knowing it, they built themselves the first boulevard of Tel Aviv. And then when they realized that it's a boulevard, they started to plant different trees in different streets. The yellow and the blue color is because of the football team that they loved, Maccabi. And we're reaching a beautiful building, which is totally not Bauhaus, and the statue of Chava, which I love. All right, you didn't see the red light. But we are getting closer and closer to my coffee place. You can see that I'm singing, let's say opera. And from right now, if you will hear me singing, you can understand that it's actually because of it. Then a lot of Bauhaus houses to your right side, a lot of Bauhaus houses to your left side, but we will stop in one building that I really love. And I actually lived there for 1 year. I rented an apartment there. In my time, in the 70s, it was kind of a so-so neighborhood that I could enjoy myself a place here. Symmetric, as you can see, it's not. And the idea is to have kind of a shade beneath the building that the children can play that people could mingle. And look at that, it looks like a photography film windows, which is part of the Bauhaus, the international style. But here the windows are not so big, mainly because there's too much sun in the city. Sarah Angel, who actually built it, she said, that's how I'm gonna live. I will bring all my money that I have. I will build a beautiful building here, and I will live in one of the apartments, and then I will rent the rest, and from there I will the building that they just built, and this is the modern style in Israel, used to be a cinema hall that my father used to go, because my father lived here. He was born in that area, but we are going back to that building. Then in that case, the idea is that no one live at the first floor. And I don't know if you can see the roof. There's kind of a roof on top of the roof for a little bit of shade. Because the women used to make the laundry there and to dry the food there or whatever, dry fish. They needed a little bit of shade. That's how she, that's how they built it with a nice yard in the front, and I lived there. Look at the ficus tree. And they added parking place to here, and although it doesn't look like it's functioning now, then it goes up. The car will go down, and automatically it will park it, but I'm not sure that it's actually functioning. So it looks like something happened. Beautiful, isn't it? Another Bauhaus thing that here it's not really functioning as it is. See the windows area? It's supposed to be the stairs to save a little bit of electricity. Here, for example, you can see it. But this is the first Bauhaus building in Tel Aviv, and for me the most, I don't know the most beautiful, but the most important one. This is my coffee place. I used to meet my brother here and some other friends, and as you see Shabbat, then you can actually drink it and can eat excellent sandwiches. And I promise you show you another one that is not open, that no one actually goes there now or use it now, and they have excellent coffee as well. All right, it's too hard for me to wait for the green light. As you can understand, you know everything about my life. Look at the sandwiches and the good bakery, pastry, which I'm not getting. I don't see any one of my friends now, which is good. I can continue with that video. Guys, it's already 30 minutes, and if you watched it until here, it means that you are better than others. Please remind me that, write me a comment and say, I'm just watched it. Public toilet that you can use 24 hours a day. It's quite clean, I must say. All right, that one is not open. Why no one is actually drinking coffee here? They have excellent coffee, they have excellent sandwiches, because it's kosher. And kosher means that one of the rules is that they cannot use it on Saturday. All right, even legal. I got used to the humidity. I'm not sweating. I'm sweating, but I don't mind about it anymore. Another beautiful building. There's so many beautiful buildings here. Will be to your left side. Oh, that's what the dog thinks about the bicycles. Those are city bicycles. It's electric, and you can really enjoy it. It's a nice way to enjoy Tel Aviv, but please don't ride as a lunatic. Oh, they are renovating the building, and in that case, the one that is now hidden is the original building here, which is a beautiful building. And let me tell you that, I don't know, 90s, the first ground was a non-kosher Chinese restaurant of a chef, and the upper part was a yeshiva, and guess what? They managed to deal together. The idea was to renovate it, and then they got a permit to build those two modern buildings next to it. Sadly, I'm happy to know that they are renovating it, at least the facade, but trust me, it's a beautiful building. Beautiful, isn't it? I wish that I could live there. By the way, I don't know if you can see it, but now you might see it. There's a lot of brown spots on the walls. That is because of bats. We have hundreds, thousands of bats here, and some say that they are spitting or doing number two, whatever. It's on all over the walls. But from right now, you will see less and less Bauhaus houses, and you will see more eclectic houses. For example, this building can be so beautiful, but I don't know why they are not being, no one renovated it. But if they will do that, they will be able to enjoy a better profit for their building. If they are renting it, rich families could live here. Nowadays, I believe students are living here, which is not bad at all as well. But the eclectic style is the 20s style in Tel Aviv, to take a little bit from Europe, to take a little bit of the Arab, the Muslim architecture style, combined between those two. Usually here you could find a lot of posters of international groups that are visiting Israel. As you can see, it's mostly Israelis, because now Israel is targeted by the, how should I say it in a nice way, by the BDS, the horrible groups that are against my lovely country. And anyhow, it's a war that no one comes to visit it. Let me show you the best ice cream in Tel Aviv, I think in Israel as well. That building is an hotel. They opened it like I think a week before the war. Then you can understand that the only one who lives here, if someone is using it, are refugees from the north and the south of Israel that are suffering because of Hamas and Hezbollah. But there's a wonderful restaurant here with an excellent steak and other sexy things if you love meat. And there's another indoor restaurant for really rich people. It's a beautiful place, and I must say that I never climbed those stairs. Then let's do that now. Then it's still a Bauhaus building, but it's used as a hotel. And let me see if I can enter to the, I mean, this is beautiful. Old and new together. Levin House started as a regular building, you can see how beautiful it is. This is the entrance to the hotel. I'm here just like you for the first time here. Look how amazing that corner is. This is, I think, the other restaurant that I was talking with a wonderful chef. I love the food here, but I'm not sure, maybe it's only the hotel restaurant, but it's something that I never experienced yet. R48 it's called. Now let's go back to Levin House, because it's one of the most beautiful eclectic houses. For that we have to cross back to the boulevard, because the view from there is quite astonishing. Then the house started as a family house, a Jewish family house, a Zionist one, and later on it became to be the Russian embassy. And they use it for different missions, different aims later on. But it's been renovated, strict renovation by that building. If you wanted to build that skyscraper, you have to renovate that building. It is beautiful. This is one of the banks. You can see the sign of the kidnapped people here. It's all over, and that's what I wanted to understand. We are united with that. We are not going to accept, at least not me. And you know that I don't mind about two-state solution. Not this time. Not anymore. After October 7, I think it's No. At least now. I don't know what will happen in about 2 months, 2 years, 6 years. I don't know if you can hear the music. It sounds like an after party somewhere there. This was the community house. At the 20s, most of the weddings were on the roof of that building. And later on, it was used for, not the lovely things like funerals. Then in that case, no one wanted to live here. It's part of the bank. The same idea of that building. Remember the bank? If you wanted to build that bank with the skyscrapers here, you have to renovate and maintain that building. No one uses it. I think because of the duty of his, but it's still here. Even McDonald's here is different than in your places. First of all, it's well decorated. It's trying to be like a chic place in Rothschild Avenue. And this one is open on Shabbat. It means that it's not kosher. Cheeseburger, it's acceptable here. But we do have kosher McDonald's. Then no cheeseburger, no ice cream, at least no milk ice cream. An important junction of Allenby Street and Rothschild Avenue. Usually there is a stand of Jehovah's Witnesses here, but I think it's too hot for them as well. They are building now the light rail. Then Allenby Street is not functioning anymore as a very busy street. Beautiful, beautiful. It's the biggest synagogue in Tel Aviv, but look at that building. Such an amazing building with beautiful ceramic, biblical ceramic. We call it Bezalel because of the school, and I think if you are watching my videos, I took a video of the modern Bezalel in art school in Jerusalem. Benedict. It's wonderful, really wonderful restaurant of breakfast 24 hours a day. So many breakfasts from so many places in the world. Lovely, lovely food. I'm actually really recommended it, but you must be here hungry because it's huge meals. One of the first hotels in Tel Aviv. Today it's I think I don't know if it's a real estate or lawyer building. Benin Group, I think it's more like a real estate building. Beautiful staircase. I do a video of it on my YouTube, and if I'm talking about that, and you actually reach 43 minutes, which I know that it's not easy, then remember, then subscribe to my channel, be part of it. Because I'm not working, because of the work, almost a year now. If you want to support the channel, look at the like button. Next to it, there's a shape of a heart button. It's called Super Thanks. You can do that via YouTube. Look how beautiful is the building itself. Remember, eclectic, a little bit of it, a little bit of that. Most of the floors now is used as a pop-out museum and gallery. Then you can buy yourself beautiful pop art designs. I wish that I had the money for that. Then, next to the like, at the description you will find more information about Rothschild Avenue, and you will find there 2 more links. One of Buy Me a Coffee link, the other one is of PayPal, and you can actually support my channel. You are the only one. You are the only income of mine, and thank you very much for every penny that you are dropping. Then this is the new part, which is actually the old part of the city, of the street, remember, and the city. Soon you will see where they renovated. When they actually started to build that city, remember the lottery? That 60 people won 60 places to build their houses here. And only on the first, not the only, the first water system of the city. That used to be the fire department of Tel Aviv. It wasn't like that, of course. It was burned down. The first building that was burned down was the fire department. Funny, isn't it? And look at that building, which is such a beautiful Bauhaus building. But that was built for offices. Until today, it's an office building. Such an amazing places there. The offices are big and beautiful with high ceiling. By the way, Facebook is the Facebook department company is here, Facebook Israel. And if you do have some problems with it, this is the building. Nachalat Binyamin, which is that street. At nighttime, it's all about big cab area. There are no cars here. It's a beautiful place. And remember, this is one of the free buses that I'm going to take on the way home. All right, let's cross the street. It's not red. It's not red. The Founders Square. That's where we founded the city. Let me show you a little bit of it. And that was the first water well of the city. And though not working now, maybe because of Shabbat, I can understand that the water here represents the water well that was beneath it. Look at it. That beautiful Bauhaus buildings. You can see that they built another part above it. Oops. And soon we will talk about my best Italian restaurant and a very good Thai one. Then it started like that. 1909, they started to build the city. At the end of the street, you could see the first high school, which I study, but not in it because they, in a horrible way, destroy it. But the houses looks like that. And we are at the water well. This is a water system here. This house is very important, remember it. And now you can see the skyscrapers around it. Abima Square, the National Theatre is part of it. Let me go to the other side. By the way, you can see here a lot of stickers that tells you the story of people who've been died in that war. Rustico and Vong, two of my favorite restaurants. I'm trying not to be close to it now because it costs a lot of money and I'm not working, but just for the information, when you reach Tel Aviv, this is the place. They are renovating one of the first houses that was owned by the mayor of Tel Aviv, Mr. Dizengoff. You can see Dizengoff on the horse. But that's where they declare of the independence of Israel. They did it at the storeroom because they knew that if they will declare of the independence of Israel in 1948, like the United Nations actually mentioned it, and all the Zionist people will be here, all the who's and who's, all the most important Zionist clerk will be here. It might be bombed by the Arabs around. It was kind of a secret. It was Friday 4 p.m. It was such a secret that thousands of people were here, and one of them was my mother. Nothing can be secret in Israel. So difficult. Then they're renovating it. It will be a museum in about a few years. Again, remember the same thing. Look at the faces of the angels who were killed in the war. And we are reaching not less than the first kiosk in the city, because remember there were no shops. The idea was not to build shops in the city. If you want to shop, you have to go to Jaffa, which is not so far away from here. But that is a culture place. If I talk about the culture place, information center of the city, and from here you can take a very cheap, I must say, tours, or you can rent me. But I'm not cheap, and it's much more than a 1 hour tour. What I love here is the only thing that they maintain here are the facade of the building, because that by law was to preserve. And then they're building that beautiful area together with that building and the skyscraper around it. This is one project that includes few places. Now for so many years they didn't allow to build shops here, but people, I mean, I don't know about you, I need to drink water. It's so hot here. Then they allowed to build and open one kiosk that couldn't sell alcohol. No alcohol. I mean, at the beginning. It's still functioning as a kiosk, but please trust me, if you need alcohol, you're most welcome. It's an alcohol city. And this is the junction of the first two streets. Two Street. It's here. And we are at Rothschild. Remember the beautiful school that I was mentioning? It was right there instead of that building, and that is the first skyscraper in the Middle East. At the 80s it was the highest skyscraper. Now it's like a small building. There are so many shops here, so many restaurants here. At nightlife here is beautiful, and excellent ice cream. I forgot to show you Legenda ice cream, which is as good as the other one. Otello and Legenda, two of them are quite good. And let's cross it. It's not an important part of Rothschild, but it's part of the history of Rothschild, and I want you to see the difference between the modern part of Tel Aviv and the next neighborhood that wasn't part of Tel Aviv. For so many years, at least the beginning of the city, that was the central bus station area. Not so beautiful, but you know, it's just a lovely place to cross to Neve Tzedek, which is right there. Let me take you to a short tour at the beginning of Neve Tzedek that you will understand, and the next video that I will prepare will be about that. But guys, 53 minutes, it's too much for me in that weather, and I'm going with my wife and my child to a French movie, which I don't know the name of it because I don't mind about it. If we do have tickets for that, we got it, and we are going to see it. It's in Lev Cinema, which is all about good quality movies. Then I don't mind. It's air conditioned. That let me enter to a totally different neighborhood. That was actually, Tel Aviv was part of Jaffa until around 1921, but that wasn't Tel Aviv. It was another neighborhood of Jaffa, Neve Tzedek, and of Non-Zionist Jews, that's totally different story. They came to live here and to die here. Most of them didn't work. They got a donation from abroad. They prayed most of the time, although you can see that nowadays it's such a beautiful neighborhood, a very rich one. I live in a small apartment. Every building here can be a mansion. Then let me show you a little bit of it, and then we will say goodbye. And we're gonna go back to take a shower, cold one. Look at the buildings. If it's eclectic buildings, and like that, it means that it's before the 30s. Today it's a beautiful hotel, a boutique hotel. We have a lot of those boutique hotels. You got the message. Next video will be about Neve Tzedek. Thank you very much for being with me, and please stand with Israel. Wake up Europe. Wake up America. They are not so innocent. They are totally not. Thank you very much. Bye bye.